Hello? Hello? How are you? Hello? That's the wrong one. Hold on. Hello? Hold on. That was the wrong one, but I know which one. Okay. Haha. Hello. Welcome to the party pen. Haha. I wasn't prepared. I thought I was going to be prepared, but I wasn't because I'm a terrible host. But I am the hostess with the leastest. So, welcome. There's a whole thing, but I'm trying to get this right. And there's no scroll bar, and it's so hard. And I hope Matt comes by and sees how hard this is without a scroll bar. But if not, we can just hear me complain about it, actually. I don't know if I'll need that or not, but I definitely need. Hi, cousin. Hold on. Oh my God. I'm so glad to see you. I thought you forgot about me. I did. I thought you forgot about me totally. So I'm glad that you didn't. Hi. Well, I'll tell you what we still do here. Right? I could do my intro. So, what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said,
and it is read by yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Super Stone Sage, Saint Mickey K the Great. Clap for me, I clap for you. Welcome, maybe I should read the Bible. Welcome. So, did a lot of partying as well as working, but I'm here. I'm glad you take a break from the partying because that's never a good thing, especially in your business. Hey, Dustin. Oh, okay, never mind. So, anyway, we are on Genesis 29, I think. Yeah, Genesis 29. um, okay, so Jacob was working for his mother's brother so he could marry his mother's brother's daughter, right? But turns out dude had two sons, right? He had two sons. And wait, I gotta put this the other way. It's throwing me off because I can't read it. Custom large. Damn, I okay. Maybe it's this one. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So I don't need that anymore. Okay. So what'd you say? I'm grateful for my youth. Yes, and you should be grateful for your youth. Live it up as much as you can. But I say that having a son and would hate if he lived his life the way I lived my life. I would hate it if he partied, so I can't really say anything. But anyway, see, I got this all wrong. You gotta give me a second, because I got this all wrong. Okay, we're there. Okay. Anyway, Jacob wants to leave after like 14, 15 years, something like that. Possibly 16, but I'm really bad at math, so I don't know. And the guy tells him no, he wants to pay him more money, right? He wants to pay him more money, so he'll stay. But Jacob's really insistent on wanting to go back to Isaac. Although his way there is like torture. So I don't know why he would have wanted to go back in the first place. So whatever. Anyway, we haven't made it that far. We are about to make it that far. So come on in. I have everything you need. I have cigarettes, cannabis, coffee, chair with your name on it, cat beds, and canine space. So bring your animals. I love that. Just don't let them eat my raccoons. And we are having a good time. So now we are on chapter 29. To each their own. Let's get back to the story of Jesus. No, we're not in the story of Jesus. That will be a while away. Okay. So Jacob went on his journey and came to the land of the people of the east. And he looked and saw a well in the field. And behold, there were three. What? No, we're not on 29 because we read this yesterday. This is when I told this story up until this point, so I might as well read it again. So, Jacob went on his journey and came to the land of the people of the east. And he looked and saw a well in the field. And there were three flocks of sheep laying about round it. For out of that well they watered the flocks. A large stone was on the well's mouth. Now, all the flocks would be gathered there, and they would roll the stone from the well's mouth to water the sheep and put the stone back in its place of the well's mouth. Then Jacob said to them, "Where are you guys from?" Or yeah, where are you guys from? And they was like, "We're from Haran." Then he said to them, "Do you know Laban?" And they was like, "Yeah, his daughter's about to come right now." So she gets there, and Jacob, with no prompting, just rolled the stone off of the well for Rachel. Okay. Gathered there. And he rolled the stone. Then they, hold on, hold on. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel and the sheep of Laban that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well. That's where I left off. Okay. And watered the flock. Then Jacob kissed Rachel like out of nowhere. He just straight up kisses her. And she's like, the fuck, yo. And he's like, listen, story. So Jacob told Rachel they were cousins and that he was Rebecca's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard about it that he ran to meet him and embraced and kissed him. Yeah, they had the big kiss. It was good time. He's like, you are my nephew. Come give me kisses. Yeah, it was like that. It wasn't like, because I imagined it was weird kissing at first. I was like, why are they making out? But they're not making out. He's just kiss him on the lips, which I don't really kiss people on the lips, not even my mother. I'll kiss you on the face. Okay. Uh, and kissed him and brought him into the house. So he told Laban words and things, dramatic story. My mother, words and things. So, and Laban was like, surely you are my DMX album. Flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. That is a pretty good DMX album. I mean, Rough Riders ain't that bad either, but Flesh of My Flesh is way better. I'm just saying, if you're into that kind of music, I forgot how awesome DMX music was until it got played the other day at Severe's. He played it. Hey, Neil, what's up? We are way into the story real quick. I was talking about DMX for no real reason. So there's that. Oh, yeah, okay, we're not that far in it. So he stayed with Laban for a month. Then Laban was like, look, because you're my relative, I just let you stay here. Shouldn't you go to work or something? It's been like a month. You know, listen, it's a good time. So, like, what do you want and shit? Can you go back home? Or better yet, you could work for me. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, free labor. Yeah, you live here and stuff. Yeah, that's a good time because you're family and you want to stay with me. So you might as well, work for me, get room and board. Good time. Okay. And Laban had two daughters. The one, the name of the elder was Leah. Wait, what? What did I say? Anyway, the older sister is called Leah. Rachel is the younger sister. So it becomes time for little dude Jacob to leave. So he's like, oh, I didn't even tell you what he wanted to work for. I said room and board. He said he wants to work for the younger sister, Rachel. 7 years. Hey, Robert, welcome. We're reading the story of Jacob getting Rachel as a wife. It's a good story, except for no, it's not. So, anyway, welcome. So, Jacob's like, all right, it's time for me to marry Rachel. So, Laban, being the sneaky Jews that he is, decides to throw a party because he's snaky. Anyway, because he's snaky. So, he gets Jacob smashed. And like he puts his oldest daughter in there. So Jacob's making sweet love to her drunk. But it's like, good thing he didn't lose his virginity to Rachel because that would have been quite awkward. Because he gets to fumble around with his sister or with her sister. So he'll know what to do next time. Anyway, he makes sweet love to Leah. And then in the morning, they find out, or Jacob finds out, and he tells Laban, the fuck did you do? I wanted to marry Rachel. And Laban's like, who am I to marry my younger daughter first? Are you crazy? And I'm definitely sure Laban did not marry off Leah so he could pawn both of his daughters off on a different guy and then make that different guy work for him forever. Because, yeah, because that's what kind of person these terrible people turn out to be. So, anyway, you can't even tell that they're lighting up. Oh, now you can. They just shut off. See, this whole time I thought they were on, but they're not. Stupid. Anyway, so Jacob's like, the fuck yo. What? Oh, Rebecca's father had two daughters, remember? One was Leah, one was Rachel. So it came time for Jacob to leave. Because remember, he worked 7 years for Rachel. I might have told you that part. But anyway, that's what he did. He worked 7 years for Rachel. Oh, they're dead. That's stupid. Anyway, he worked 7 years for Rachel. And it comes time for him to leave. And Jake's like, okay, let me take my woman and go. Let me take my women and go. And he's like, no. May I? Oh, shit. Wait a minute. It came time for Jacob to be able to marry Rachel. It's the 7 years. So he gets to marry Rachel. Yeah. And then uh, Laban gave him Rachel and Libnah, a woman named Zilpah. to Jake and Rachel as a maid. So it came to pass in the morning. What the fuck? I already said all this. Oh, okay, here I am. That's right. So it came time to get him Rachel. And Laban gave his maid Bilhah to Rachel as a maid. Then Jacob went into Rachel, and he loved Rachel more than Leah. And he served with Laban another 7 years. Okay. Now I know where I'm at. Okay. So now one of them has a baby. And the first one, we already read this because we wrote down the 12 sons of Jacob. Why did I mark the wrong page? Because Rachel sold him for some mandrakes. Right. Where the fuck am I in life? Yeah, because Leah gets mad. Rachel wanted some mandrakes. And then Leah's like, what do you want for some mandrakes? And okay, I'm right. Okay. So then I wonder something. No, never mind. Never mind. I'm so confused. Because I can't even read this seriously because I don't remember. I remember that shit from a couple days ago. See, I gotta stop reading 2 books at one time because I've been reading that Ethiopian Bible during the day in my afternoon live stream. And now I'm getting confused on this Bible. I'm so fucking confused because I already read this. Yeah, okay. So Leah's son Reuben had okay, what do you guys want me to do? Neil, are you still here? What do you want me to do? Because I'm trying to move on in the story, but it's like I can't because none of you were here, right? So you wouldn't even know where I was. Okay. I'm just gonna say that Leah had a son and his name was Reuben. Okay. And then she had another son and his name was Simeon. And then another son and his name was Levi. And then another one called Judah. Okay. So now we're just staying at chapter 30. Now, when Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children. Rachel envied her sister and said to Jacob, "Give me a baby." Okay, Neil. "Give me a baby or I'm going to die." And then Jacob's like, "Who am I to give you a baby? If you can't have a baby, you can't have a baby. What do I look like to you, God? Because I'm definitely not God. So I don't know what the fuck you're wanting from me." And then Rachel just stormed off a little bit. "I watch you more in the mornings." Okay. So just know I spent the beginning part of this video very confused. I'm sorry. Okay. So give me a child. And he's like, "I'm not God, asshole." So she said, "Here is my maid, Bilhah. Go into her, and she will bear a child on my knees, that I may also have children by her." This is a Sarah thing to do. Then she gave him Bilhah, her maid, as a wife. And Jacob went into her, and Bilhah conceived a son, and said, "God has judged my case and heard my voice and given me a son." Therefore she called him Dan. Yeah, so she called him Dan. And Boris, "God has judged me," and named him Dan. And Rachel's maid conceived again and bore him another son. And she said, "With great wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister, and indeed have prepared or prevailed." And then she called him Naphtali. And when Leah saw that she had stopped bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her to Jake as a wife. And Leah's maid Zilpah bore Jacob a son. Then she said, "A troop comes." So she named him Gad. And Leah's maid Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. Then I am happy, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. Yep. And then there's 4 more kids. Jacob is rubbing his pecker raw. Look, this is so much shit. These are so many kids. How poor is his pecker? Okay. So named him Asher. Now Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found some mandrakes in the field and brought them to Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, "Can I have some of those?" And then Leah's like, "Yeah, but you sleep with my husband." And she's like, "Well, what the fuck do you want?" And she's like, Leah's like, "My husband lives with you." And Rachel was like, "Well, you can have him." Right? So When Jacob came from the field in the evening, Leah went out and said, "You got to come to my house. I bought you for some oranges." And Jake's like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, some oranges. You can come hang out with me tonight. We'll have game night with your children." And Jake's like, and he looks at Rachel and she's like, and showed him a pie. And he was like, "Oh, what the fuck ever." So he went with Leah. And then God listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son. And she's like, named him Issachar. Did I? Asher, Issachar. Okay. Then Leah conceived again and bore him another son and named him Zebulon. That sounds like a comic book, a bad guy in a comic book, don't it? Oh, why is this so long? Look, she bore him another son and named him, oh, no. Then he opened Rachel's womb and she bore a son all by herself and she named him Judah, right? No, Joseph. She named her baby Joseph. Uh, okay. So after Rachel gives him the baby, he asks if he can leave, right? And then the dude's like, "How much do you want? However much you want." And Jacob's like, uh, yeah, and the dude's like, like, "How much do you want?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much do you want? And Jacob's like, "I don't want nothing. If you will let me leave, I will feed your flocks. Let me pass through all your flock today, removing all the shitty stuff. And then it'll be my wages. My righteousness will answer for me in time to come. When subject of all my wages comes before you. Everyone that is not all fucked up, you can have." And Laban said, "Okay." So he removed that day all the shitty shit. And then Jacob got them ready to mate. And that's right, this when the trolls came in last night. And I just decided that I wasn't gonna read no more about animals mating because we don't need to know that. That's right. That's where I quit yesterday. So now, uh, now I'm uh wanting to smoke a cigarette real quick. We're at 30 minutes, so we can smoke a cigarette and pack a bowl, and then move move on. Look, I got cigarettes rolled this time. I'm gonna start doing that, rolling cigarettes before I do my show, so I don't have to interrupt my show rolling a cigarette. Is that a cat behind me? Okay. So, cousin, are you still here? Neil, are you still here? What do you think about me skipping the animal mating part? Oh, good night, Neil. Yes. Yeah, I don't wanna I don't wanna read it either. It's like a whole bunch of shit we don't need to know. I wonder why nobody's chatting in any of my chats. It's crazy. There's people here, but nobody's chatting. Like, what do I mean? We're on a fucking 5 minute break. Somebody could say something because dead air is bad air. And I don't like, I think it's kind of fucked up that Laban doesn't want him to leave. Like, that right there is kind of suspect. Like, Jacob could ask God to, like, stop blessing this guy so he can leave, you know? Because Jacob has a way to talk to God. He can just talk to him directly, which I don't understand why other people can't talk to God directly. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Cousin, what do you think about any of it? Like him kissing his cousin before he even knows her, him acting like a big tough guy by rolling that thing right off of there. Like, I mean, what do you think about that? Like, isn't that kind of crazy? Cookie fight started, blame it on me. I don't know why that Severe's got that stuck in my head. Okay. All right. So Jacob heard the words of Laban's sons talking shit. Like these guys were talking so much shit about Jake because he had to leave so it'd make it more work on them. So they were talking shit, right? So they were talking about how Jacob was gonna steal from them, how Like it was about to be all bad because he was stealing from them. Right. So Jacob said and called Rachel and Leah to the field to his flock. And he said to them, I see your father's countenance has fell towards me. Look, they're about to fuck me up, man. So I need you guys to like do something with me. Okay. And he was like, and plus, you know how he treats me, right? You see how he treats me, how he's always changing what he pays me, and you guys see it. I live at all your houses. Okay. And it happened at the time when, oh my God. So they gave birth. I lifted my eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leased upon the flocks were speckled. Oh God. Yeah, he talks about having a dream, how all the new stuff would be like speckled and perfect for him and blah blah crap. And uh uh yeah, and how God was gonna do good things. And then he says, I am the God of Bethel, which is different than I am the God of Israel. I am the God of your father. I am the God of whatever. But this says, I am the God of Bethel. So what does that mean? It's very different. Where you were anointed, the pillar, where you made a vow to me. Now arise and get out of this land and return to the land of your family. So he had a dream that God told him to go back to where he came from. And that is all of a story in itself. So then Rachel and Leah answered and was like, well, do we have anything here anyways? You know, he doesn't really know us. And he's told us that he doesn't care, that he's utterly consumed our money. 1 second, the cat wants in. Rose, Willow, Willow, Rose. Oh, okay, there you are. All right, well, Maynard wanted in. Ooh, that was almost all bad. Never doing that again. Wow. Anyway, sorry about that. Cat wanted in. So Rachel and Leah was like, and we don't have nothing here. Anyway, and he's took all of our money. With all this stuff God has taken from my father. And Yeah. Everything God has taken from our Father are really ours and our children. Now, then, whatever God has said to you, we're going to do it. So, Jacob rose and said to his sons, or set them on camels and began to leave. Why is this so long? Okay. So he was going to his father's house, Isaac. That was my phone. I don't, I don't know where my phone is. Okay. So Isaac gone to the land of Canaan. Now Laban had came to shear his sheep, and uh, and Rachel had stolen the household idols that were in her father's, and Jacob stole away unknown to Laban, and that he did not tell him that he intended to flee. Yes, he did. So he fled with all he had, arose and crossed over the river and headed toward the mountain of Gilead. Okay. And Laban was told the third day that Jacob had fled. Then he took his brothers with him and pursued them a 7 days' journey and overtook them in the mountains of Gilead. But God came to Laban in the night and was like, "The fuck you doing?" Oh, wait.
The fuck you doing, yo? I don't know what you're up to, but you're up to something and it's freaking me out. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going after Jacob, you best not do shit to him. I don't even care. Don't do it. Or you will deal with me. Period. Point blank. Goodbye. So, so, so.
What is happening? Okay. My soundboard. Huh. It enjoys God voice. So Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mountains, and Laban with his brothers pitched in the mountains of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, "What are you doing? Like, really, what are you doing?" Oh, so like, what are you doing, dude? It's not cool. You have stolen. Oh yeah, what'd you do? And you took all my shit. Why? Why did you go secretly and even steal from me? What the fuck? For I might have sent you away with joys and songs. I could have did you good, dude. Okay. and you did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Now you have done foolishly in doing. It is in my power to do you harm, but God told me not to. And now you have surely gone because you greatly long for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? Right? Why did you steal my gods? It's not fair. Look, it's not fair. I'm sorry, but it's not. Okay. Then Jacob was like, the fuck? I left because I was afraid. And then Jacob answered and said, because I was afraid. I said, perhaps you would take your daughters by force, and whomever you find with your gods, do not let them live in the presence of our brethren. Identify what I have of yours and take it with you. And now Jacob didn't know Rachel was the one that stole the god. And Laban went in. Look, he searched everything. And then he got to Rachel and was like, you want to stand up? And she was like, I'm on my period. I can't stand up. It'll be a bloody mess. I'm not. And they was like, oh, okay. I don't want to see your bloody anyway. And then Jacob got angry and rebuked Laban. And Jacob told Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin that you need to do all this extra shit? This is fucking extra. Like, why you being extra, dog? That's not cool, right? Hold on. That which was okay. I didn't do any bad shit to you. Here I was in the day. Drought consumed me, and frost by night, and my sheep may have been in your house 20 years. Okay. So then Jacob's like, I have served you 14 years. Okay, that's what it is. For your two daughters, and 6 years for your flock. And you have changed my wages 10 times. Unless the God of my father, the God of Abe, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty handed. God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked you last night. And Laban was like, these are my daughters and these are my children, right? This is my shit, not your shit. First off, although I don't know how that is because they don't even share. Oh, yes, they do. He's the nephew. He's Laban's nephew. He is the older man. Okay, that works. These are my children and my flock. Everything you see is mine. But what I do this day, my daughters, their children whom they have born, now for come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness. So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. Then Jacob said, gather stones. So they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there on the heap. And then Laban and Jacob made a promise not to kill each other past that rock pillar. And then Laban was like, if you afflict my daughters or take other wives besides my daughters, although no man is with us, God see it as a witness between you and me. Here is the heap, and there is this pillar. Okay, and they wouldn't go past this to hurt each other. The God of Abe and the God of Nahor judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and called his brothers to eat bread. And they ate and stayed all night in the mountain. And early in the morning, Laban rose and kissed his sons and daughters, blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that's the end of that. Man, why are these chapters getting so long? They're getting so long for no reason. Anyway, okay, so I want to tell everybody good night. It's time to give the pillows some head, put some lipstick on, put a ring on it, get over your face, and then give your sheets the best as ever. And then have a postcoital cigarette, and then the sweetest dreams on the planet. I love you. Have the best night ever.